Talking about comfort, Jeff Gordon, he don't have that comfortable lead no more. Sterling Marlin in that Coors car, that Dodge, right on the back bumper here.
Yeah, but the comfort he has is all that open real estate in front of him. He's had nobody in front of him for most of the day. He's led 74 of the 92 laps.
Look at the run right here. Sterling Marlin in that Dodge. Off turn 2, side by side.
He got him. I think Gordon will probably let him slide up in front of him. Are you going to let me in? Are you going to let me in?
But Gordon's going to go to the high side.
No, you're not.
No, he'll get that momentum up on that top groove.
Now, here we go, side by side, and here's going to come the 28, the 8, the 10. This is their chance to catch up and make a real race out of it.
Watch Ricky Rudd. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack right here. He got the run.
Thought better of it. Not a good move. I mean, you're going to put somebody in harm's way when you go down under them like that. Sterling knows he doesn't need to be up there beside Gordon, but when you see what happens, he says, okay, I'm going to fall back in line, and here's Ricky Rudd all over him.
Rudd got a great run through the middle of the corner, but couldn't let the car sweep out.
Yeah.
That cost him.
Yeah, you got to have the whole racetrack.
Meanwhile, while this has been going on, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Budweiser car, he's right on the back bumper, Ricky Rudd. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack for 3rd position.
Jeff Gordon leading Sterling Marlin by just a matter of 2 car lengths, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking in. It's about 1.2 seconds from the leader to 4th place, Ricky Rudd, then Johnny Benson, Jeff Burton, and Dale Jarrett.
Leading Ford, but Dodge has not won a race this year. You said they'll at least win a couple. When we've talked to Ray Evernham, he said, look, we're a third of the way in the first season of what is a 5-year plan. Even though they made a splash at Daytona, they've yet to win a race.
Well, you're sitting here right now, you watch Sterling Marlin. We touched on the fact that team has been very, very consistent all year long. A couple times early this year, he was in a position to win a race, and here we find him again. Halfway through this race, he's in position once again to take advantage of maybe what's going on here with the Dodge contingent.
Now, there was some talk about NASCAR maybe giving Dodge a break with an engine block that would weigh or have a lighter weight. Explain how that would benefit the team.
This is a totally new package that Dodge put together. This engine actually weighs about 30 pounds more than the other competitors as far as Ford or Chevrolet. And they've been trying to work a way to make the block lighter.
As we get a look at Jeff Gordon leading the Sterling Marlin with 96 laps to go here in Michigan. Let's go back upstairs to Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy.
Well, that 2-car battle for the lead has become 3, and it's about to be 4, as Dale Earnhardt Jr. has caught Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin.
He's been running right around the bottom of this racetrack. He's been gaining on these guys about a 10th and a half, 10th a lap, and he's right on the back of him right now. You see Ricky Rudd in the 28 Texaco car. He's inching up there as well. For the Rusty Wallace fans, he's back on the racetrack, some 80 laps down, just trying to make circles, make laps, make a few points.
He's got to be able to go all the way out to the wall, and that's going to cause him some problems when he starts getting up here trying to pass these guys.
Now, Ricky Rudd is closing. He was a second off the lead that lap.
There goes Marlin. He's got a pretty good run off of 2 this time. Looking pretty good right there. Had to fall back in line, but he had a heck of a run. He gets off of 2, he gets off there strong, stronger than the 24 does.
Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, he keeps running the high side of the racetrack, and he's going to run about the middle of the racetrack right here through 3 and 4, but he drifts it up right there off turn 4, keeps those RPMs up there.
The thing you never know for sure about Jeff Gordon, even when you're following him and when you're watching him like we are, how much does he have left? Is he just keeping everybody at bay? Is he just sitting there and just letting everybody run behind him? Can he, when it comes time, step it up a notch?
And you see here on Fox Tracks, Ricky Rudd had that interval down inside of 1 second. Now it's pretty stable. Let's see what he does. Coming off turn 2 has been Rudd's strong spot.
The only guy in those 4 cars that I know isn't holding back anything, he's in that red car with 8 on the side of it. And he isn't holding back nothing.
This racetrack's so smooth, and you just always love coming here because, again, the characteristics of your car.
He gets on you, you get on him, but at the end of the day, you're both out there trying to accomplish the same goal.
But the first thing you accomplish as a driver and a crew chief, you've got to be good friends. You got to be friends first. You got to know what each other's thinking. You got to look in them eyes, and they'll tell you where to go with it.
And take good notice.
Eastern time. Jeff Gordon leading, Sterling Marlin. As we look in at 115 out of 200 laps, and as we think about the dominance of Jeff Hammond of Jeff Gordon in Delaware last week. How do you relate that to what he's doing here?
Well, if I was one of the competitors, I'd be scared to death, because anytime you allow Jeff Gordon and Hendrick Motorsports to get on a roll, to get this kind of momentum going, he can be real ugly, because he has the type of talent and backing that he can do this for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. So somebody needs to get up there, challenge him, and make sure they can't keep this momentum sustained.
It's worth pointing out 2 victories after 13 races when he won an amazing 13 races in '98. After 13 races in that season, he had only 3 wins. So if he keeps up this pace, he certainly could be dominant. And one more win here would give Hendrick Motorsports, Rick Hendrick, his 100th career victory.
Yeah, and while you're touching on that right there, Chris, let's say one more time that our wishes here at Fox Sports go out to Papa Joe Hendrick. Had an opportunity to work with Rick Hendrick, Hendrick Motorsports, and got a chance to know Papa Joe very well. And as Darrell was talking about earlier, everybody in the garage loves Papa Joe. We're praying for you, Papa. Get well, buddy.
Let's go back upstairs to Mike.
And let's bring you up to speed where Ricky Craven is not. Craven is off the pace. He's dropped down, and he will go a lap down to Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin. We've run 117 of 200 laps. Jeff Gordon has now led 99 laps, 11 for Johnny Benson, 4 for Earnhardt Jr. Rudd, Marlin, and Buckshot Jones have also led this race. But Gordon has put in another dominant performance so far.
And he gives a lot of credit to the motor department over at Hendricks. He says that those guys, he got beat at California when Rusty was just beating him down the straightaway like a drum. He said that his guys didn't like it, went home and worked on the motor.
But you know, in 16 races, he's only finished out of the top 15 one time. That's quite a record.
Yes, it is. Here are your top 10 cars cycling through with Gordon and Marlin in very close contact. And the rest of the field kind of struggling to keep up. Sterling Marlin has now led 12 of the 14 races this season.
After going a lap down, Ricky Craven in the 32 car, he's on pit road with the hood up.
Different lines for the 2 leaders. Now they're about 1.3 seconds ahead of Ricky Rudd.
Now this is where the spotter probably told Sterling, try that high line, because there's some cars making good time in 3 and 4, right up against the outside retaining wall.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's the 4th place car, 2.2 seconds off the lead. But he has them in sight as Marlin looks for the lead.
Oh, he's moved the car around a little bit down here in 3 and 4, and he's found a little something, I believe. He's really closed right up on the back bumper of the 24 car. Steve, what are they saying down there?
Well, DW, it's funny you mentioned that. Sterling just radioed in to Lee McCall and Tony Glover and said that he was a little bit tight off the corner, and they did make that suggestion to move the car around a little bit. Told him just remain focused on the job at hand.
Jeff Gordon, the pole winner. Now, the pole winner has not won a Winston Cup race since Tony Stewart at Martinsville last fall, 20 races ago. A new sheriff in town, Sterling Marlin, drove underneath Jeff Gordon to take the lead. Let's show you how.
And here he goes. He gets a good run down low. Jeff just moved up high trying something, I believe, and Sterling said, let me in, please let me in. Ah, whoopee. Made it.
So Marlin, whose car's been good on a long run, we're coming close to pit stops now.
Everybody was on pit road at lap 181, or lap 81 when the last caution was out, and we're at lap 125, somewhere around lap 30, they'll be on pit road.
Pretty good little mix here, guys. Got a Dodge leading, got a Chevrolet running second, got a Ford running third. Where's that Pontiac at?
Not sure whose radio that was, but one of those cars is coming in 2 laps.
That's about right.
It was Jeff Gordon. That's about right. Yep.
I tell you, that's going to hurt Jeff, because they're making big power. They're making a lot of steam under the hood, but they burn a lot of fuel.
And all these green flag stops coming up should be 4 tires, making sure that car is full of fuel. That'll get you to about 20 laps to go at the end.
But the good news for Gordon is 14.5-second pit stop. That's going to be hard to deal with.
But green flag stop at Michigan, 55 miles an hour on pit road. It's got to be a good stop. No mistakes. No tires rolling away. All the lug nuts tight.
And it's begun. Earnhardt Jr. and Terry Labonte are both on pit road.
Pressures are on the crews right here to have good, solid stops.
They push him through Jeff Gordon's pit. Here comes Gordon. And those crewmen have to scatter. Dick Berggren.
Jeff Gordon had just come on the radio a little bit before this pit stop and said that he was having to run incredibly hard to stay in in front of the 40 car. He did not do that. Just couldn't stay out there. So they're going to take 4 tires, put 1 round to the right rear on this race car. A terrific over-the-wall crew. Gordon gone in just a little over 15.
Boy, Marlin must have had a terrible pit stop. He couldn't have been very good because the 24 and the 28 have already blown by him, and he's just coming up to speed.
And remember, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, those guys were on pit road first, got a little advantage with those fresh tires.
Sterling lost about a half of a straightaway to the 24 car on that pit exchange.
Now, Jeff Gordon is 9.8 seconds behind Kenseth in second place. Kenseth is the only driver we're aware of who has not made a pit stop under green in this segment.
And we're coming to lap 139. He's still there on the racetrack.
Well, Jeff Gordon has just come on the radio and said that this set of tires has made the car a little bit tighter. He has finished second in this race 3 times in the 8 prior times he has started. His crew chief, Robbie Lewis, has just come over the radio and said, Jeff, you're flying. Don't use it up. To Steve Burns.
Here comes Jeff Gordon off turn 4. Their leader of the race.
The jack man was just jacking that thing. Jack. Had a jack problem on the left side.
Yeah, Darrell, he slipped coming around the front of the car to get in position for the left side. Tough break. Jeff Gordon is back in command. He's led 104 laps today of the 143. But with all the different strategies in play, folks, this is far from over. We'll be right back to Michigan in a moment. This is NASCAR on FX.
Guess who that is ahead of Tony Stewart right there?
That would be the leader.
Yes, that's flames coming off the back of that bad boy.
And Stewart, the 22nd place car, goes a lap down, ran up among the leaders, made a great charge from his provisional starting spot, but now has slid to 22nd, and he's the first car 1 lap down.
I believe these changing weather conditions, Larry, is having a lot to do with some of these cars kind of backing up.
And that's something Jeff Gordon, Robbie Loomis, that group has always done a great job at, is adjusting to the track conditions.
And I really think that's a product of Jeff Gordon, being able to communicate well with his crew about what he needs in his car.
Hang with him, you know what to do, the best you can, baby.
But Michael Waltrip in that Napa car, Michael in 21st position, finally going a lap down here at lap 158.
Yeah, these long greens with pit stops really shakes up the running order.
Okay, the word has come from the high command. New rule for the Fox pool. And folks, there's no money involved. We only have 2 Instacup races left on Fox. Nobody's allowed to pick Gordon.
Okay, that's a deal.
After today.
Not even Hammond.
Not even Hammond.
No.
Right.
But Darrell now is going to have a secret meeting.
That's good to know.
I think everybody'd pick him at Sears Point.
Hey, Darrell, I want to ask you one other question since we're making these rules up. What happened to the 8 car? I thought you picked him just a minute ago. We're going to give you an ERI rule on that deal.
Did I say 8?
With Robbie Loomis, his crew chief. Robbie, when will you pit and what will you do?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say hello to Papa Joe Hendrick back home. Our thoughts are with him and his family. We're probably looking around 176, something like that.
Okay, let's go to Matty.
And Robert Yasa Turner and Michael Fatback McSwain have been crunching numbers. Fatback, when are you going to make your last stop? And will you take tires or just gas and go?
They're going to have almost 1 can of fuel. That's 7-8 seconds. These crews, they can change at least 2 right side tires. They're almost like 3.
Yeah, I'd go for 2 right side tires, can of fuel, and get out of here. Show me the money.
Now, all these are pretty much lap down cars with the exception of Jarrett there, so it may not influence the leaders to come in a little earlier than planned. 34 laps to go.
FX welcomes you back to Michigan, and you see Jeff Gordon on the lead. Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin looking for their first wins of the year and chasing Gordon. The great views you're seeing of this action being brought to us today by Monster.com's East Coast blimp, Trump. Speaking of Trump, Gordon has been the money driver. He's led since lap 142 and last pitted on lap 128. Remember, in the first 40 miles, we had 4 cautions, but things have settled down. Let's get down to Steve Burns.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Jeff Gordon's going to take 4 tires on this stop. They're going to go up 1/2 pound on the right rear tire. Matt.
Gordon, Rudd, Marlin, top to bottom. Matt.
Ricky Rudd is the first car to hit. They're going to work on the right side tires. The lefts are up on the wall. Let's see if they do a 4-tire stop. To Dick.
Jeff Gordon a little bit slow so far. Chris Anderson just coming around the car with a jack. Brewster Craven, the man with the gas in the back. Steve, he's gone.
Left side tires going on the 40 of Sterling Marlin. 1 pound out of the left rear. They've already taken 1 pound to fight out. 15
Ricky Rudd beats Jeff Gordon to the end of pit road because...
Come back in.
2 tires.
And I get it in stereo from 2 announcers. 2 tires. Now, remember Dale Earnhardt lost an engine at the end of the practice session yesterday. That's probably totally unrelated.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. He just told everybody to calm down. I don't know, something's going on.
There's like 11 cars there on the lead lap. Car going to be all right? You want to free it up a little bit for traffic there? What he said. Do you want to free the car up a little bit to run in traffic here next time coming in? 10-4, do a half round on that track bar.
Now, knowing he's going to have to restart in the back.
How's your temperature being been there, bud? It's at 235 right now. 10-4, make sure to turn that engine fan on. 10-4, it's on. It's been running about 210.
So if he comes back in, they want to know if he wants the car to handle differently, because now, instead of being out front, he'd have to deal with traffic.
Something he hadn't had to do a lot today.
No.
He's questioning about everything here. This is a good time to make any of those adjustments they didn't talk about or make. You heard him asking about the temperatures. The radiator has an electric fan on it. Ricky Rudd's back in as well in the 28 car.
Well, they took 2 tires. Are they going to get 2 more?
I believe since they know Gordon had to come back in, they thought maybe they would come back in. He's the guy they got to beat.
And this is the wrench. You heard them talk about adjusting track bar. They're going to raise the track bar.
Look for us right over here. Right over here. Should get them all on there. Plenty of time.
So they had lug nuts off.
Dick Bergman.
Yep, that was it. The problem was lug nuts on the left front tire. You nailed it exactly. Might have cost him the race.
Well, Ricky Rudd got his left side tires, and he's back out.
Well, I believe that's a product of, well, if Gordon's in trouble, got to come in, restart at the back. I'm going to start back there with him.
But now he's behind Jeff Gordon. A while ago, he was in front of Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon's loving every bit of this because he is closing in a hurry.
There's Gordon underneath Ryan Newman and Hut Strickland. This is all for position. Those are all lead lap cars, and there's Ricky Rudd right with them.
Of course, our 2 fastest cars, Ricky Rudd in the 28, Jeff Gordon in the 24. Here you see our interval behind the leader, 1.3 seconds.
See how Rudd pulled him down the straightaway? Gordon came off on the bottom of 4, but he had to fade up in behind the 28 car.
Look how much distance, though, Jeff Gordon's losing. It's back to 1.5 seconds. He's back there in traffic. He's been in clean air all day. He's hadn't had to deal with traffic. 1.6 seconds off turn 2.
If Sterling Marlin can get himself a little lead, get out of this traffic and get out front, he might be able to hold these guys off.
And we've lost the 4th place car. Ward Burton has dropped down to the apron, way off the pace.
Oh, what a play. Gosh.
Now Gordon's in the middle of it, but boy, he just went by Ricky Rudd in the 99 car on the bottom of the racetrack.
Dave, oh boy, John Andretti just got all squirreled up right there.
And look what that did for Gordon. Opened the door, and here come the leaders.
Dave Blaney is 2nd. Hut Strickland is 3rd.
Wow. Great run for those guys.
Jeff Burton 4th, Ricky Rudd 5th. And they're back to battling 4 wide again. 4 abreast. Here they come.
And Gordon is trapped behind the 93 and this 31 right here. He can't get out behind him. But this here he goes to the bottom. He's headed to the bottom. He's going to pass them both going into turn 1.
And that puts Jeff Gordon up into 2nd place. Now Ricky Rudd's trying to follow him up through. Matt?
Well, the reason why Ricky Rudd came back down pit road, I talked to the crew. They said last year they took on 2 tires and Rusty Walsh beat them with 4. So they decided with the caution to come back in and get left side tires.
And this is the same car that he had here, had such a lead till that caution came out and Rusty burned him by changing 4 tires.
Boy, Sterling is hung beside the 36 car, Kenny Schrader. He needs to get around him in a hurry because these guys are coming.
Ricky Rudd on the bottom side here lost a lot of momentum. You see by the Fox tracks, 2.6 seconds behind our leader.
Well, the 31 car held him to the bottom going into the corner, and it took away his momentum.
Come on.
Got to slide up in front of him.
Still there.
2.6 seconds, 14 laps to go. Gordon needs to run 0.2 faster than Marlin to catch him, but then he's got to pass him.
And in the last lap, he was 1.5 tenths quicker than Marlin.
That's
Marlin's been stuck beside the 36 car. He just cleared him going into 3. He's got clean air in front of him. He should be able to really pull away now. Gordon's stuck beside the 30 car. That's going to hold him up a little bit, but he's been awfully strong getting into turn 1.
Jeff Gordon was 4/10 quicker that lap than Sterling Marlin, but as you said, Sterling's been monkeying with the traffic up there. Now Jeff Gordon's going to have a clear racetrack for a little bit.
Now, if Marlin can just get up there where he can get a little whiff of a draft off Bobby Labonte, maybe he can hang on to this lead.
It's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be right down to the wire.
13 to go.
Gordon is coming, and you got to admit, guys, from 11th place on the restart and all that traffic, Gordon is almost there.
Now, there's Bobby Labonte. There's Marlin, so Marlin can get a little drafting help off Labonte right now.
Oh, he's in good shape right now. He's cleared all the cars that he needed to. Question now is, does he have the speed to hold hold Gordon off?
Now that time Sterling Marlin was about 1/10 quicker than Jeff Gordon.
And that's what he needs.
12 laps to go.
Sterling Marlin has run 31 races here at Michigan. He has two...
Oh, trouble down here in turn 2, guys.
Pulling for is old Sterling Marlin. He's got that Dodge up front, and if he can just hold him off, but I'm telling you, it's going to be tough with Gordon behind me.
Yeah, the way Jeff Gordon is going, it's been 24 years since a Dodge has won here. Mike?
I've watched Gordon on every restart that we've had. He's been awfully quick up through the gears. Of course, maybe not as good as these guys here, but still had a great afternoon. Fun to watch.
Sterling, you got to have one of the best restarts you've ever had right here.
That's
Marlin,
right.
he's got to quench those flames. Maybe pop the top and pour a little on them.
Oh, that's a good idea. That might work. Drown them out.
Single file restart, 7 to go.
Green flag, green flag. Green flag.
Mayfield inside of Blaney. That's back at 4th place.
Well, here he goes, underneath. No contest.
Ricky Rudd in that 28 car, he wants to come with him.
The big thing is they're going to get sideways. Oh, trouble again down turn 2, guys. Shauna's around.
They're going to bring it back to the caution. The battle's going to be for second between Ricky Rudd and Sterling Marlin.
And here come all those lap down cars, but none of them will get close enough. Close for second place at the line.
Rudd got it by the inch.
And it was close for fourth.
Rudd beat the fire. He beat the heck out of him. He beat him by an inch.
And Blaney beat Jeremy Mayfield back for fourth.
Gordon's just too strong on these restarts. I watch him every time, and he really goes.
Jeff Gordon, the leader. Remember, the pole sitter hasn't won since last fall. Tony Stewart won at Martinsville last September. Ricky Rudd right with him. Sterling Marlin, Dave Blaney. Another fellow who has not had a lot of good finishes this year, but he looks like he's going to have a great one today for Bill Davis. In 4th, can Jeff Gordon light up those flames and blast away from the field? Can Ricky Rudd win his first race since 1988?
Rudd's going to have to get a run on him going into 1. That's all he can do.
Can Sterling Marlin or Dave Blaney come back and give Dodge its first Winston Cup win in 24 years? Let's find out. 4 laps to go.
Here they go. Green, green, green. Go, go, go. Give it all you got, guys.
Ricky Rudd trying to stay right with Jeff Gordon.
See how Sterling falls back on the restart? That's been his Achilles heel most of the day.
Ricky Rudd, 88 races ago, was his last win.
Dig, Rudd, dig. Come on, get it under him.
And those two have taken off from the field. It's a 2-horse race.
180,000 people, everybody's standing. No needed seats in these last 3 or 4 laps.
Rudd closes up at the end of the back straightaway, but I think Gordon's a little quicker through the corner.
Remember how strong Rudd has been off turn 2, though. Let's see if he can mount a charge.
And Sterling's got his hands full right behind him with Blaney. Here they come.
3 laps to go.
Jeremy Mayfield has climbed up into 4th place.
If Rudd can get up under him and stay close through the corner, he could worry him and get him loose.
That's what he'll exactly do.
He's trying to keep that nose right up under the back of that Chevrolet, and he could shake him loose.
That's where Rudd is strongest, turn 2.
Whoa, Blaney almost put a pass on Sterling. He was up beside of him, but Sterling beat him up off the corner. And Ryan Newman in 5th place is right there as well.
Jeremy Mayfield just passed him for the 4th position.
Ricky Rudd is going to have one last best chance to get Jeff Gordon, and this time they come to the line with 2 to go.
Boy, he is there. There's no question about it. He's going to put the pressure on Gordo, but I haven't ever seen Gordo mess up in situations like this. He's just a little bit quicker up off of the corner.
Yeah, this time Gordon maintains a 1-car length advantage.
Rudd pulls him and gets him at the end of the straightaway. Rudd's probably a tick quicker, but he's not getting through the corner quite as well, off particularly.
A little bit quicker. Rudd's going to go to the high side.
Take it up there. Take it up there. Loosen her up. That'll give him some momentum.
Looking outside.
That might be his stop. All right, Ricky, come on, buddy.
1 lap to go.
And they're side by side at the start-finish line.
Rudd with a car length advantage.
Get up in front of him. You got to get in front of him. You can't let him come back on the outside.
Oh, Rudd just stuck it in too deep at the bottom of turn 1. Lost the momentum. Gordon got the lead. Rudd's coming back.
But that should have been Rudd's last lap move.
All right, we're going to see what happened. One more set of corners down in turn 3 and 4.
Man, he was there. That would have been for the win if it was on this lap.
If he can get close enough, he might have a shot to try it again. Rudd tries that high side.
I think Gordon knows what he's going to do this time, though.
He's going to try to make a run down the hill, Darrell, off turn 4. We'll see what happens. He gets the run.
Here he comes. He's going to dive to the bottom.
Gordon to block, and Gordon to win. He holds off Ricky Rudd.
Wow.
Marlon Mayfield and at the line. Ryan Newman edges the 90 of Hutch Strickland for 5th.
But Hutch Strickland finished 6th. Well, Ryan Newman 5th.
Hard to put you do all that work. That's 100. Jeff Craven, get that flag.
That is 100 Winston Cup wins for car owner Rick Hendrick.
And in a very short period of time. Just like this young man right here. That's his 55th Winston Cup win in a very short period of time.
11 Hendrick wins for Terry Labonte, 9 for DW and for Tim Richmond driving for Rick. Jeffrey Bodine 7, Ken Schrader and Ricky Rudd 4 apiece, 1 for Jerry Nadeau.
And I might add, our points leader, Dale Jarrett, finishes 18th. It's going to be close, guys.
Rick Hendrick's first win as a car owner came in his 8th race, the Spring Martinsville race in 1984 with Jeff Bodine, the driver.
That's racing, guys. This is some good racing.
Love it.
Well, you can hear the roar from the crowd, and you can decide which is which, love or hate.
You know, it's like next Saturday on Fox Major League Baseball when the Yankees win. A lot of folks would like to see somebody else, because when the dominant team wins, well,
I tell you, you got to have some good guys, and you got to have some bad guys, and you got to have some heroes. And that guy there is a hero.
Jeff Gordon passes Lee Petty and Rusty Wallace for sole possession of 7th on the all-time NASCAR win list with his 55th victory, and he sits in our MBNA winner's circle. Now that was a thriller.
It was, and I swear, I think Ricky Rudd, if he'd have saved that move that he put on Gordon to get the white flag, I think he made his move 1 lap too soon. And he should have drove right up in front of Gordon going down into 1. He should have made him lift. That's just old quarterback up here, you know, coach.
Matt Yoakum's there.
And Jeff Gordon celebration and hugs all around. Magical win, number 100, as he gets a hug from John Hendrick. Jeff Gordon reaches back and, of course, had to get the sunglasses. Congratulations. Does it make it any more special to win it like that, Jeff?
Well, so many things special about this day. Of course, it was an exciting race. My hat's off to Sterling Marlin and Ricky Rudd. What a great race. But this was for Pop. I know you're watching, Pop. We're with you, buddy, and just praying for you. And man, I tell you, what an awesome victory this was for this DuPont Chevrolet. I want to thank Pepsi, Quaker State, of course, DuPont, but GMAC, Chevrolet. I want to thank Fritos, too. They're on board. We don't get a chance to thank them enough, but I tell you what, it's pretty awesome to get our 100th win for Hendrick Motorsports. Rick said he wasn't going to be here when we did it, and unfortunately he's not. But John's here.
Well, a dramatic win. What were you thinking when Rudd made his move?
I was thinking, man, Yates makes some horsepower. That's what I was thinking. You know, I was a little bit, you know, I know if I got the lead, I had the preferred line, but he'd get some real momentum coming off the corner, and boy, when that thing would draft you, buddy, there's no holding it back. And he made a smart move. Ricky's such a great driver. He made a smart move, went to the high side of me down in 3 and 4, got a run. When he got inside me, I thought I was done, but I tried to step beside him, and luckily I slowed his momentum down a little bit. I never drove into turn 1 as hard as I drove in that lap. And the car went sideways, he checked up, and I just jumped back into it, and the thing stuck, and he was coming even there at the line. It was an incredible race. I tell you, it's awesome to win ones like that.
An incredible race, incredible finish. Jeff Gordon picks up career win number 55, moves into 6th on the all-time win list, number 100 for Hendrick Motorsports.
And Jeff Gordon with his 55th career victory the most among active drivers and breaking the streak of 9 straight weeks in which Dale Jarrett was the points leader. In this race, Dale Jarrett winding up 18th. Shauna Robinson gave it a run and completed, finishing 34th. But GQ's candidate for Man of the Year, Athlete of the Year, Jeff Gordon, is the man of the moment from Michigan. A day that began with Muhammad Ali, the co-honorary starter, wishing the pole sitter luck. And once they got going, a race that had 8 cautions, tying the record for this track, saw Jeff Gordon hold off Ricky Rudd in a special FX finish. And Brooklyn, west of Motown, with a showdown between these two. Gordon winning. Thanks for watching on FX. We'll see you next week on Fox from Pocono.